to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Thursday, August 26, and I want to talk about the bigger picture and also obviously the intraday as well. So we'll be covering the S&P, the NASDAQ and the Russell, and I'll probably also want to have a look at the S&P 500 as well today. So my main concern with this particular count at this time, and always sort of has been, is that we've got wave 3 and 4 here as an expanded flat, and then going up for wave 5 here, or wave 5 of 5 of 5. Now that could be the end of the world up at that point there, or we can have it as wave 1 and pull back for wave 2. I think that we'll just travel sideways across the 5,000 for a little while and then push up again. So 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. This is my yardstick for wave 3 here, as wave 1 rather, and we would expect wave 3 to be, well, to be longer actually. You know, this is 100%. Would normally expect it, you could add another 60% on top of that. So bringing it up to 5,300 for this wave 3 here, that's kind of normal for me. But obviously the world's in sort of edgy, you know, all the printing and this going on and so on. But at the same time, you know, the market is just continuing to climb. Of course, we need to be careful and cautious and take every step lightly and thoughtfully and so on. And currently we're at 4,500. So the 500 is important. 5 is the second strongest number, so we need to climb on top of that. So I have a count for the NASDAQ that finishes it off I'm just going to jump around a little bit today before we dive in, because I just want to talk about the bigger picture and just try to piece things together a little bit. So with the NASDAQ, let me find that. Where's that slipped into here? So this is the NASDAQ 100, not the NASDAQ comp. And once again, this, my yardstick here, just on a bit of an angle, but still same. So we're still short here for this wave 3 here as well. And I understand there's different ways to count all of this as well. We could put wave 4 here, but I also have to say as well, the thing that I don't like about, I mean, we could even just put wave 1 here as well. You know, we could do that. You know, so I do find this wave 3 here, I mean, it's a nice wave 3 compared to wave 1, but it's a little bit squashy compared to all of this. I know they pumped a lot of money into the system here, and they'll just try to buy, you know, right down to equities with BlackRock or whatever they were doing, you know. But so I understand that. So I take all of that in and try to accommodate that and so on. But in Elliott terms, and that's what we're, you know, looking at, there's other ways to look at markets, and you know, if you can gather half a dozen ways and they all point in the same way, well, then probably do the opposite, you know. But yeah, this wave 3 is still sort of too short, but I do have a count where it kind of finishes off in here for this, because my counting's been conservative, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then counting 5 waves up into this little area here. It got a little bit messy at the 15,000, which is normal being at a big number. The next level up is the 16,500, but still a long way. It's a medium level. Should really also put that in there to balance that up there, because they're both medium levels. I won't get into that at the moment. Yeah, let's just sort of cruise in here for a moment. So do this one first. So that's our wave 4 at this point. So I've been looking at 1 and 2 in here. I know you can count this differently and you can put 1 up here as well, but I went back over it and I'm kind of happy with it down there. 3, 4, 5. So I think that it's important, you know, that this move up here, this is where we'd be cautious. This little move up here, we just count that to 5 waves. Now it may or probably not be that top there. We'll probably end up just seeing a correction like this here, so I'm not going to panic too much and then see a move up from that point. But I won't put this in here as wave 4 here. I will probably end up moving this across to this point here at least, or something of that nature. But our emphasis is on the Jackson Hole, sort of buy the rumor, sell the fact. So that, you know, coming into, well, today, Thursday and Friday, but there won't be any sort of news coming out of that until sort of over the weekend, I guess. So I don't know how that works. Yeah, so just to move in here a little bit further, because I think this is a bit of a telling point. Anyway, this concerns us obviously in the short term. So let's just drill in here with that sort of wave 5 there. So I was thinking something like this here as 1 and 2, and 1, 2, nice strong third wave in here for 3, 4, and 5 for third, fourth, and fifth. Bring us into that sort of scenario, we can just drill into that a little bit more. So just on the hourly chart, it's sort of not much difference, but it gives a little bit more definition. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and up for 3 and 4. Gets a little bit sort of messy in here, but we're still looking for wave 5 of 3 and wave 4 here and wave 5. So how all this, how the party ends is, it's at the October 30th. So, but yeah, and the tick chart for this, just why we're here. Just want to finish this off into this so we kind of get that, that sort of happening a little bit. So, and then we'll come back and look at the bigger picture again as well. But I think this was just important to consider here. So I'm thinking something, little wave 4, little wave 5 here. This, and just bringing it down to a bit more realistic, because the extension's in the third wave here. That would leave wave 1 and wave 5 roughly the same in that case, So I think this is important here. Look, this probably is not the top of wave 3, right? But I've got to give the most conservative count to keep us as safe as possible, but also not be blindsided, from fear in looking, of what the sort of reality is in that regard. So this is just traveling across, very close to the 400 here, under the 400. We're in group 2, 65, 72, and 80 under the 400 there. If you want to drill in there even further, and you'll see all of that. But just generally sort of putting this picture here from 4 to 5 here as 1 and 2, and nice third wave, fourth wave, a bit messy in here, and I could have that wrong, and wave 5, but I can tell you that there's definitely still more to come at this particular point in time for this. So just coming back and looking at this here on the daily chart, I might just go to the weekly chart. Just, saying that, we're still short for this wave 3 here. So all of this may need to be sort of adjusted here in one way or another, because I'm not happy with it. I'm really gunning for this wave 3 to be longer in that regard. Okay, so the reason I showed coming into the top there for this, just go to the 4-hour chart again, just coming into this from wave 4, coming into wave 5 here for the top here, that was important because we want to have a look at the S&P now as well, because if that NASDAQ is going to top at that particular, in a week's time, 5 days, whatever, trading and all the rest of it, then we kind of need to bring the S&P into that fold as well. And of course we need to look at, some of those big stocks like Apple and that, which I have done in the separate video, which has already been put out. But once again, the yardstick here for the S&P here and here, we're still short. We need, the market will stall through this Thursday and Friday, basically be partly probably because of the meeting, but also too we're at the 500 here as well. So 5 being the second strongest number. So we also got to have a look at this also finishing just in here and having a shorter wave 3. Now that's possible. That means that just wave 5 is going to be shorter still, if that was, be something like that. Which is fine as well. Technically, it's all cool. But I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't want to live in fear or hope. I just want to be dull and boring, so to speak. So let's just sort of dive in here and have a bit of a look at this. So on the daily chart here, because one of the other things that that before we go here, so we've got this trending up here. This is not really the count I was looking at here for this. It's this one here. That's the one I should be looking at. This one takes us, this is one we've been working with. So this one here, I like this count because it takes us to wave 3 up here at the 5,000, where I think that it should be, you know, and this is the length of wave 1 here. So we haven't really even moved past the length of wave 1 yet. So to have this here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then going into a third wave, fourth and fifth here. So when we're talking about the NASDAQ, we're talking about this wave 3 here being there. That's the blue wave 3. Sure, I'll be able to squash all that further down here, like a shorter wave 3 here, but we still want to, you know, long with wave 1 there. So we could end up having a top here. All we need to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's what we'll be doing today. But to be aware of this bigger picture here. But also what I wanted to do is just, this charting program doesn't have the 400 on it. So this is the mid cap here, the 400. And I just wanted to have a bit of a look at this, because to me, this move here is very much like the Russell 2000. So this move here is not 5 waves down because it's got overlapping wave structure. So this move is corrective. It's bullish corrective. Now, sure, it may travel more sideways and so on, but at some point it's got to take out the top here, you know. So if the S&P 500 is going to top out and roll over in, you know, 5 days or whatever it is, 5 or 8 days or whatever, then you know, well, this still needs to make a top up here, and this is the same for the Russell as well here. I can find it. There we go. See, it's kind of, don't worry about that spike there. It's just a data thing that I haven't cleaned up. So it's, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's roughly the same as the Russell in that case. So these guys still need to make a top. You know, they're making a move now. But yeah, so I just really wanted to point out that, you know, that's the 400 and this is the 500. They're totally different, driven by those larger tech stocks in that case, but they still need to move up. And, you know, it's the same with the US banks as well. You know, if we can just have a look at those for a moment. I'm sorry to go around the block here a little bit, but if we have a look at BAC for a moment here. This move here is corrective, right? So that means we need to take out that top. GS is the same. Oh, it's a bit more gunning for it. But even this one here, we look at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And we'll probably have to look at this as 1 and, oh no, it'll have to be a B wave and C wave here. No, but it looks corrective. It doesn't look like it's 5 waves. That's corrective. So we could look at that as 1 and 2. But anyway, we still need to move up. Goldman's need to still make a new high. Let's have a look at Morgan's here. Yeah, Morgan's is much the same as well. So this has done what the Australian banks have done, is pulled right back. So we're probably in a triangle pattern here for this, I would imagine. Possible, you know, because that's in 3 waves. That's in 3 waves, or a flat. We're going to get 5 waves down here first and then up, one of the two. But this, what I'm saying here is a bit like, you know, the 400 and the Russell. They still need to make new highs up here, because these are corrective patterns. That's all. So I'm just putting the case forward that there's a good chance that we still need to go much higher with all of this. But at the same time, we just need to be cautious. So I'm going to be cautious and I'm going to be optimistic in all of this. So let's just cruise in here a little bit further. So we can kind of pushing it in towards the NASDAQ kind of count. Okay, so this is just the 4-hour chart here. So what I'm looking for here in this particular count here is to finish it off here with wave 3, 4 here, and then up for 1 and 2 here, and then going up for 3, 4 and 5 to finish off. Now wave 1 is quite long. That's the length of wave 1. So we would want wave 3 to be, you know, that's wave 3 here. So this little move here needs to get off its ass and get up there, that's the 30th there. So we'll see how that travels. So maybe good news is going to come out of, or no news probably will come out of it, just a bit of, chitter chatter sort of thing. So let's just cruise in here a little bit further for this. That's not really helping too much, so we'll have to go to, let me just go in a bit further. This is okay, so we'll go in further as well. This is the wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and we've just been counting this up through here as wave 1 and 2. This is moving off quite nicely. I'm quite sort of happy with it. So looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. And it's getting a bit squishy before the 500, but we've got 1, 2, this will be all third wave. So we need to move up a little bit here. That could be part of that. I mean, definitely going to go up. But we could have 2 little moves up, but something like that. Then we could come back here as wave 4 and then push up for wave 5 here. So just be a bit careful about that. Bit of a classic trading levels pattern sitting here. Yeah, and that would just take us up for wave 3 at that point. And then we've got wave 4 to come back and wave 5. That's the shortest wave count I can give. So I think that as a trend trader and, short-term traders, this is what we're focused on from wave 2 here to wave 3 to start with. And then we'll look for wave 4 and then wave 5. So we've still got a fair way to go with all of this. Just go into the tick chart as we normally do. Go to 20 here. This is, let's just, get a bit of clarity on this. This is just a bit more detail here, 100 ticks. So yeah, you can pause that and have a look at it later. But that's that. So the next few sessions will take us higher. So this will be wave. Oh no, we still need a bit more. That's going to be wave 3 there. That's going to be wave 4. So this wave 4 can come back to here. So, the normal story, this is 4,500. That's group 1 above. That's group 2 here. That will be the swing range for all this to occur. We don't have the first high above the level yet. So we'll need that to come into play, and we'll need this structure here. Because the extension's in wave 3 here, wave 1 here, blue wave 1 and blue wave 5 here can be roughly the same, pinch of salt, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so where are we heading with this? Well, probably to the 4650 would be, I'll just leave that there, would be 4600 to 4650 would be sort of our upside targets, but we'll just keep sort of working on that. So really that's where the S&P is. I want to have just a quick look at the Russell, because I haven't looked at that, and I've got a few counts on it which I just really want to talk about. So this is not my original count, but we could look at wave 3 here, but I don't think we've got wave 3 yet. I think this wave 3 really needs to be over here for this. So this dulled out wave 3 here with an A, B, C here for the A wave, a B wave here for this one here, and then look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. I know there's overlap in that, but it kind of makes sense to me, and it fits, and to have a wave 4 here, it also fits in with the S&P 500. So I've got a few counts here, and it's messy, but all we can do, I think the best thing to do rather, is just focus on this little move here. Okay, we're also been looking at this here as wave 1 and 2 back into this space here, which we can look at on the hourly chart, and it's not out of reach, but it's just with a wave 4 here and 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave down here. But that could also just be wave 4 and wave 5 finishing down here as well. So, as a wave 2, it's rather big compared to wave 1, and it's really come back a long way. So I don't think we should sort of worry about all of this too much. This wave 4 can be over here. I think what we, just need to focus on this particular move here. Now, for the first thing here is pulled up to the 50-60% retracement level. That's from the high over here, wherever that high is. So we're just going to go to the tick chart now and just focus on this. I think it's just best to understand what we know and what we don't know, or what I know and what I don't know. So from that low, whatever it be down through here, we can just count it up in line with the S&P and the NASDAQ and all those, because they're kind of all moving together. So I was thinking sort of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for 1. Didn't finish off very well. I probably need to do a fair bit more work on this, but it leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. So we still need the fifth wave here. Anyway, just give us an idea of, where we're sort of heading, really. So this next level here will be so a good target would be the 2,300 if you're long in this. Obviously it can move higher, but I think that that's a good target area there. And what we'll look for when we get here is just a classic trading levels pattern at that 300 here. So the arrival, that's where you can get out, right? And then just wait for all of this. Don't panic if it goes above the level here, because it 90% chance that it's going to come back and fold them. We'll pick it up over here. And once you understand this pattern, start using it, then, over the year, like if you, I've taken a lot longer than that, but if you, as a trader, it doesn't matter what the level is, if you take it here and then get back in over here, you're going to save yourself time, money, frustration, because all of this in here just takes up all your attention. And if it costs you money to be in the market, well, time, because we're basically trading time. So, this is that can cost you as well. You're far better off over, at the end of the day. Yeah, sure, sometimes you'll get out here and it'll pull back and then just keep going all the way up there. But that's what we use the top of group 1 for. So the 3 at that point. So in this case here, 2,300, the next level up there would be 2,300, 10, 20, 30. So if you get another classic trading levels pattern on 30 and find your support there, then you just move back in at that point, because that's the point that you would be wrong. I don't know what that is. Yeah. So, alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. I just want to recap this a little bit for the S&P, because I feel like I was all over the place today. And let's just cruise in here. But I felt that it was kind of important to look at the bigger picture and look at the S&P 400, compare that to the Russell, look at the banks, and just say to ourselves, well, that's both sides of the market. You can have a look at the Apples and all those sort of stocks. They got sort of all those Apple and Facebook and those sorts of guys, they've got this particular count as well here in a way. So we're just looking up to finish up to this particular point, and then we're going to stop, and then we're going to, have a breath, and we don't particularly want to be in the market after that. We need to observe it at that point. If we see that, at somewhere within the structure, wherever it may be, if we see a corrective pattern, so to speak, something like this, where it overlaps or something, well, then we'll look at at the bullish side again, of course. We are seeing in the markets, we are seeing the US dollar index top out in its wave 4, so it's going to be moving down. At the same time, we're looking at commodities bottom out, like copper, iron ore, commodity dollars like Australian dollar, and all. So there is a change happening in the market, and we just need to see how that's going to affect these indice markets. And I think just following this up to this point will be important. But at the same time, as I've mentioned, I'd have a big account that takes us, which I think a bit more realistic, higher here. But I just want to be cautious once we finish, towards this wave 3 here. And it may not go all the way up there as well. That could be finishing down here somewhere. So yeah, anyway, our job is to just continue counting, you know, from wave 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the S&P. That'll be the same on the NASDAQ. It's same on the NASDAQ stocks. And we'll see what we get after that. If we get a corrective pattern, well, great, we'll go on our merry way again, you know, but that's both sides of the coin. So step by step, and yeah, that's it. Alrighty, I'll keep it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.